Hello students. Now let us revise the chapter Components of Food in the form of a short summary. So first, as we all know that living organisms like plants and animals survive on food because the food provides us with energy to do work, it helps in growth and also it helps in repair and the normal functioning of body. Now the next term is nutrients. What are nutrients? Each dish is usually made of one or more ingredients which we get from plant or animals. These ingredients contain some components needed by our body. These components provide nutrition to our body and they are called as nutrients. For example, proteins, vitamins, carbohydrates, fats, etc. Some living organisms, like plants, synthesize their food by themselves, while others, like animals, depend upon the plants and other animals for their food requirement. So students, we can divide food into three broad categories. First is the bodybuilding foods, and in this category proteins are there. Why? Because proteins help in body growth and they help in repair of damaged part of the body. We obtain protein from two different sources. First is the animal source like egg, fish, meat, milk, cheese, chicken, etc. And we have the plant sources like the different pulses like beans, um, sprouts, rajma, kidney beans. All these are plant sources of proteins. Now, the next category is the protective foods, and under this category are the minerals and vitamins. And vitamins and minerals are protective food because they protect us from many diseases. They give us resistance against disease causing germs. And there are a number of vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. These are obtained from fruits and vegetables, fish, liver oil, milk, eggs, etc. They provide vitamins. Similarly, the minerals are also required in small quantities. These minerals include sodium, calcium, potassium, iodine and phosphorus. And each one is essential for the proper growth of our body and to maintain good health. Now the third category, that is the energy giving foods. And under this category comes the carbohydrates and the fats. Carbohydrates are mainly sugars and starch. Starch is present in grains or cereals like wheat, maize, tubers like potato, etc. While the fats are stored form of energy. The food which we eat and the fats in that food are stored in the body, and when we require fat in the energy in the at the time of crisis, then this fat provides us with the energy. And we have the animal sources of fat like milk, butter and ghee and cheese, and we have the plant sources like the oil of sugar cane, oil of mustard, sunflower. All these oils are sources of fat. Now we have studied that food has different components like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. Now let us see how can we test the presence of different nutrients in a given food sample. So first is test for starch or carbohydrates. We have to take a small quantity of food item and you have to put 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution. You can take potato or a chapati and you have to put just 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution and observe the color of the food item. If the food item turns blue-black, then it indicates the presence of starch in the tested food item. Now, the test for protein. How can we test protein in a given food sample? We have to take a small quantity of food, grind it or mash it, then put the food sample into a test tube and add 10 drops of water to make a paste and shake the test tube to make a solution of that food sample. Then using a dropper, add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution to the test tube and then add 10 drops of caustic soda and shake the test tube well. Observe the color, and if the color changes to violet, then it suggests the presence of protein in the given food sample. Now for testing the presence of fat in a given food sample, you have to take a small quantity of food, wrap the food item in a piece of paper and crush that food item, and then unfold the paper or straighten the paper and dry the paper by keeping it in sunlight for a while, and then observe the paper. An oily patch on the paper indicates the presence of fat in the tested food item. Now about the vitamins. As I have told, there are a number of vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. So all these vitamins can be broadly divided into two categories: the water soluble vitamins and the fat soluble vitamins. Vitamin B complex and C. They are the water soluble vitamins, while rest of the vitamins, like that means vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K, they are the fat soluble vitamins. They are water soluble. Vitamin B complex and C is water soluble vitamin, and vitamin A, D, E and K are the fat soluble vitamins. And vitamin B is a complex of vitamins. It consists of a number of vitamins like vitamin B1, B2, B4, B6 and B12. So it is called as vitamin B complex. Now, vitamin A is required for good vision and for growth, and its sources are green and yellow vegetables and dairy products. Vitamin B is required to for the release of energy from food and for healthy skin, and it is present in your cereals, milk, egg, etc. Vitamin B12 is required for our RBCs, and it is present in meat, milk and fish. Vitamin C is required for healthy skin and gums, and it is present in fruits and vegetables. Vitamin D, it helps in absorption of calcium and for the strong teeth and bones, and it is present in oily fish, and it is also prepared in sunlight. In presence of sunlight, our body can prepare vitamin D. Vitamin E is required for healthy skin, and vitamin K is required for clotting of blood. The minerals are needed by our body in small amounts. Each one is essential for proper growth of body and to maintain good health. And they are obtained from vegetables and fruits. So there are a number of minerals that are required by our body, like calcium, which is required for healthy bones and teeth. It is also required for blood clotting and muscle contraction. and our milk, meat, egg, fish, these are the sources of calcium. Now phosphorus, it is required for strong bones and teeth. Apart from that, it helps in the production of ATP. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate, or the energy currency of our body, energy currency of a cell. Energy currency means this is the component which provides energy to our body, and it requires ATP requires phosphorus. So phosphorus is very important, and phosphorus is also required for conduction of nerve impulse. That means transmission of messages to the brain, and from the brain to the other parts of body requires phosphorus. So it is present in milk, meat, egg, fish, pulses and vegetables. Our next mineral is iron. It is required for the formation of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the pigment which helps in carrying the oxygen, and the iron is present in green leafy vegetables. And our last mineral is iodine. Iodine is required for proper functioning of thyroid. What is thyroid? It is a small gland present in our neck which produces a chemical called as thyroxine. And this thyroxine requires iodine for its formation. And iodine is present in vegetables, seafoods and iodized salt. Apart from these 5 major nutrients, that is our carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals, there are 2 more nutrients that are required for a healthy diet, and one of it is the dietary fibers, which are also called as roughage. It is mainly provided by plant products in our food, because the plant products contain cellulose, which is the main component of dietary fibers. It does not provide any nutrient. The dietary fibers do not provide any nutrient, but it is an essential component of our food because it helps in getting rid of undigested food from the body. Now, the next component or next nutrient is water. What does water do? Water helps our body to absorb the nutrients from the food. It also helps us in throwing out the waste in the form of urine and sweat. And most of the biochemical processes that occur in our body, they require water. So water is a very essential component of our body, and we get most of our water by drinking a number of liquids like water, milk, tea, etc. Now, balanced diet. We have studied the different nutrients that are required by our body. So, a balanced diet is one that contains a variety of food items providing different type of nutrients in adequate amounts necessary for maintaining good health. A balanced diet includes a combination of protein-rich pulses, sprouted seeds, etc. with a combination of various flours and cereals for carbohydrates and fats, along with fruits and vegetables which provide the necessary vitamins and minerals. And the diet should also contain a good amount of dietary fibers and water as well. So this is the balanced diet, and this balanced diet, the requirement or the composition of balanced diet differs from person to person, and it depends on the age of the person, the physical condition of that person, and it also depends on the quality of work that person does. and this balanced diet leads to a good physical and good mental health. If you are eating a balanced diet, your physical health and your mental health will be stable and sound, and uh, you will lead to a happy life. Now, in addition to making sure that the right amount of food is eaten, it should also be ensured that food is properly cooked so that it does not end up losing its nutrients. Like repeated washing of fruits, pulses, rice and vegetables can result in the loss of essential vitamins and minerals. And throwing away of excess water which is used for cooking vegetables can result in the loss of considerable amount of important proteins and minerals from uh, that food. And we all know that vitamin C gets destroyed in the heat while cooking. So some food should be eaten raw to get vitamin C. Now there are if what will happen if we do not take a balanced diet. So lack of balanced diet can lead to two conditions. It can be two ways. First is obesity. Obesity is a medical condition that results from excess intake of fat rich food. That means we are not taking a balanced diet. There is excess of fat in your diet. So the excess fat gets accumulated in such an extent that it starts negatively affecting one's health or one's well-being, and it hampers the ability to carry out certain activities. The person who is obese has difficulty performing certain day-to-day activities, and it is because of excess of fat in your diet. Similarly, if excess of fat leads to obesity, then deficiency of certain nutrients in food leads to malnutrition. When our diet is deficient in a nutrient, then it leads to malnutrition. Disease that occur from the lack of an element in the diet, usually a particular vitamin or mineral, are known as deficiency diseases. So first deficiency disease is protein energy malnutrition. What is protein energy malnutrition? When the diet of a person is deficient in proteins and energy, then that condition is called as, the person will be called as suffering from PEM or protein energy malnutrition. And it is the examples of PEM or protein energy malnutrition is kwashiorkor and marasmus. Kwashiorkor occurs because of basically lack of protein. The diet of that person is lacking in both protein and energy, but major portion is lack of protein. So when that condition is called as kwashiorkor. And in case of marasmus, it happens when the intake of nutrients like protein and especially energy is low, and it leads to wasting or the loss of body fat and muscles, and that condition is marasmus. In case of kwashiorkor, it is basically due to protein deficiency, and marasmus, it is due to deficiency of calories or energy. But both are protein energy malnutrition. In both the condition, body is deficient in protein as well as calories. Now, the deficiency diseases caused due to the deficiency of vitamins and minerals. So first of all, because of vitamin A deficiency, loss of vision can occur. and it might lead, the condition is called as color blindness or night blindness. The person can suffer from night blindness or it can suffer from color blindness. And the symptoms are poor vision, loss of vision in darkness. Loss of vision in darkness is called as night blindness. Sometimes complete loss of vision might occur. Second is vitamin B1, and the deficiency disorder is called as beriberi. The symptoms of this disease are weak muscles and very less energy to work. Then vitamin C, because of vitamin C deficiency, scurvy occurs, and during this disease, bleeding of gums can occur and wounds take longer time to heal. Vitamin D, the deficiency disease is rickets, and the symptoms are bones become soft and bent. Calcium, and because of calcium, your bones and tooth decay can occur, and your bones and tooth become weak and they start decaying. Then our mineral iodine, the deficiency of iodine causes goiter. In this disease, glands in the neck appear swollen and mental disability can occur in children. Then our next disorder is caused due to iron deficiency. Name of disorder is anemia, and it leads to weakness. So this was all about the deficiency diseases caused due to vitamins and minerals. So your chapter is over, students. Revise it well. I hope you have understood all the terms properly. Thank you, students.